Now we're going to be writing up the offer itself. The offer consists of many things that will protect you in the process. The forms I use are not the standard Boston-based forms. They're actually written by me and approved by an attorney so that your interests are protected rather than the seller's. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to leave blank the time that I'm going to submit the offer. The reason why I fill that piece of it out when I know I'm submitting it is so that the seller knows when the listing agent received it. So the listing agent is not holding on to it without sharing it with the seller. The first thing we ask is the owner of record in Massachusetts, the seller. I'm going to leave that blank and she can put it in because we want to make sure we got the right name. That's on the deed, but we want to make sure that that's the right name. So today's date is October 13, 2012. The buyer is your name, which I'm going to just write down. Offers to purchase the property located at, we'll put the address of the property, which is 23 George Street, Oxford. Containing, when you buy real estate, you're actually buying the land. It just happens that there are some buildings on that land that come with it. So when you're buying this property, you're going to be buying 14,810 plus or minus square feet of land for the purchase price. Now we've discussed it and we've agreed that you want to put in an offer of 160, correct?
Yes.
So we're going to put in an offer of 160. When you purchase property, one of the things that you need to do is show the seller that you actually want to buy the house. You do that by offering him an earnest money deposit. An earnest money deposit is an initial deposit put in when you write up an offer.
Mm-hmm.
A second check would be put in when you do a purchase and sale document. And then the rest of the amount will be given to the seller at the time of closing. So a typical earnest money deposit, typical, and we can change it, for someone who's doing an FHA or a VA loan is $500. Someone doing more of a conventional form of financing is $1,000. Which one are you doing?
I know it's FHA, so 500.
Okay, so you're doing $500. And that you're going to be writing out a check with the offer for $500, and you're going to make it out to the listing company. And the listing company in this case is RE/MAX Advantage 1. They will hold the deposit. They're not going to get that deposit until we have an accepted offer. Once we have an accepted offer, I will give them the check and they will put it into an escrow account. That escrow account will not be touched by either party until either you close or we ask for the money back. So we're going to put down $500. You're doing an FHA. Right now, FHA requires 3.5% deposit. Is that correct? Have you talked to your lender?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
All right. So basically what happens is if you put down $500, if the offer is accepted at 160, it's $5,600. Okay. So are you comfortable in 14 days from the acceptance of this offer, which is typical time for the purchase and sales to be signed? Are you comfortable putting down the rest of your deposit at that time?
Yes.
Okay, so it's $5,600 just to have round, well, we could just put $5,100 at that time. So $5,100. We can round numbers off or we could put the exact numbers. So at this point we'll put $5,100. If the 160 number gets changed, if they counter, we can either adjust the deposit or leave it as. Okay, so just to do the numbers, putting down 500 now, 5,100 at purchase and sale, which will be signed 14 days after the acceptance of the offer. The balance of your financing is due at closing, and the balance is 154,400. So far, so good?
Yep.
Okay. The next.
So if I end up putting more money down,
that's okay.
that would be at that time.
At the closing, correct.
Yep.
So you're going to be looking to get FHA financing. The FHA financing you're going to be looking for is for 154,400. Now again, you can put down more, but you want to get financing for 154,400 in this particular case. You have 7 days from the acceptance of the offer to sit down with your lender to formally apply. You're going to do that within 7 days, and the lender will provide us a commitment. Typically, the commitment for the loan will take about a month or so. So if we're middle of October, today's October 13th, by somewhere around November 13th, we should be able to get some kind of a verification that you will be able to buy the home. If on November 14th we get the verification, or we get a no answer, you might not get your deposit back. So that date is very important, and you should watch it with the lender to make sure that we have a response one way or another by that date. So if we do the dates that week, November 13th is a Tuesday, we can put that down. Next, the following items shall be included as part of the sale. These are the items that I typically include with the purchase. Kitchen stove, microwave. Is there a built-in microwave at the house?
I don't remember.
Okay, we will allow the listing agent to let us know. Dishwasher, refrigerator, window treatments, and would you like to ask for the washer and dryer?
Sure.
Are there any other items in the home that are not personal items that you would like to ask for? Keep in mind that anything that's nailed down, like vanities and chandeliers, are going to be included anyways.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. Okay. Paragraph 7. The following conditions, see addendum A, B, C, and D, all of those addendums that you signed, are going to be included with the offer. Also, the language that explains how I get paid, which is in paragraph 10, will be included in the purchase and sale. If for some reason it is not, this document will override it, and I will still be able to get paid at closing. Any other conditions that you can think of? We'll get to the septic system in a minute. Okay, so we've already discussed your closing date, and we've agreed that you will close on or before November 29th. In 14 days, you will sign the purchase and sale agreement. Paragraph 10 is the broker's compensation. I'm going to leave the listing agent's compensation blank and just put RE/MAX Advantage 1 is the listing broker. And the following language is the one that explains how I get paid. Solely as a, sorry, I'm going from my mind. Solely as a convenience to this transaction, buyer agent will be participating and receiving fees from the purchase price. The conveyance attorney or the buyer's attorney shall be directed to disperse at the time of closing the amount of money is equal to 3% of the purchase price, or the next part is not applicable because it's a flat fee, to Home Team Advanced Edge, Keller Williams, Greater Worcester, buyer's broker. Next paragraph. The seller is going to provide us with smoke detector certificate and the carbon monoxide certificate. 12. You have a period of 10 days from the acceptance of this offer to have the property inspected at your expense for the presence of lead paint, and have the property inspected for any of the following: home inspection, termites, pests, water quality and quantity, environmental, mold, and radon. seller to pay for septic or cesspool inspection and to provide a certificate, a statement, subsurface sewage disposal system inspection form Part D certification, which is your Title V, within blank days from the acceptance of this offer. We can put down 5 days. Okay. The home inspection will be scheduled within 10 days of written confirmation that Title V has been done. Basically, when we get the Title V, you have the 10 days starting from that point. Most likely, if they take the 5 days to do the Title V, and then you take the time to set up the home inspection, it will go beyond the 14 days for the purchase and sale. Your attorney at that time will ask for an extension to make up the difference. Paragraph 13. If any inspection, not if the house has fallen down, but for any inspection, if any inspection is not satisfactory to you, you can walk away from the house, but you have 3 days to give the seller notice. Okay. The purchase of this property is contingent upon the buyer's ability to secure homeowner's insurance at a competitive rate. The reason why we have that is we've had several cases of mold for the insurance company, that they sometimes raise the rate on the house or don't even insure a house because of issues. So we want to protect your interest, that if you cannot get a reasonable rate, that you can walk away from the house. 15. Buyers acknowledge that you have been informed of your right to have the inspections and that you have not been promised anything other than what you hear today. And I'm going to put none, as there's no other item of warranty of any kind. This offer shall expire on a certain time. We don't want to leave it open, so we want to create urgency for the seller to respond. Typically, and this is a typical situation, where there's no competing offer, and I will find out to make sure there is no competing offer.
We pulled it already. She already checked.
She already checked, but you never know. That was a few days ago.
Yep.
If there's no competing offer, if it's not a huge hot market, then we want to give them 4 days to a week. If it's, if there's other offers, or if your offer is like full price, so it's really good, we want to give them a lot less time.
Okay.
So maybe 24, 48 hours. In this particular case, we can give them, till say midweek of next week. Does that sound okay with you?
Sure.
So we're looking at today is the 13th. October 17th is a Wednesday. Okay, so they can respond to us on or before October 17th. And I just put 4 p.m. because I like to get it in the workday. And then you sign and I sign, and we're done writing up an offer.